Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jeremy Medeiros, JP Ruja, and a whole group of interested birders led by Bob Flood. We're here on Nonsuch Island on the 19th, I believe it is, of November 2025. And we're here, we're going to take a look at who we think is Samson back in the Cahow-Cam 2, the R832 nest. Samson, of course, has had quite a busy season so far and such. He's had to repel aggressively another prospecting male bird that was in with his new mate. He nested with, Sheila, I think her name was, another translocated bird for 15 years, produced 12 chicks in 15 years, so very high breeding success, and she failed to return 3 years ago. He's nested now, they've produced eggs twice, and both times other males beat Samson in the return. They're not quite synchronized yet, and so Samson has aggressively gotten the other male out of the nest. So we're going to take a look. Okay, they almost escaped. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Samson. He's a big boy. There we go. Okay. So this is Samson, I guess our prize bull, we could call him. Pretty sure. I'll just take a quick look. But his knock on wood. Oh, wait a second. Yes, it is him. E0174. You can see this is probably one of the bigger males in the entire Cahow colony. He has returned back for egg incubation, and at the beginning of courtship as heavy as 470 grams. A big bird. He's got a very big neck. He's a gentle giant with me because I raised this bird as a chick in the second year, 2005. He came originally from Inner Pair Rock, and he was one of the very first males to return, very quickly picked up a partner, and has nested, has had an incredibly good breeding success, about 80 to 85% over the last 15 years. And now he has produced he has produced a chick with his new mate, but there is some question as to the parentage because she spent 4 days in the nest with another male, which Samson beat the daylights out of and kicked out. This year, the same thing happened with a different male, and the fight was much longer, and Samson was obviously trying to kill the other male. It was that violent of a fight. But he is a good boy, and he's probably middle age for a Cahow now, because he's just over 20 years old at this point. So he is actually a beautiful bird. But like I say, knock on wood, I've dredged my memory. I don't ever recall him ever biting me. And he certainly could do damage. Yeah, it's not quite as heavy as he was when he first returned and he beat up that other male. He was 448 grams. He is down now to 383 grams. So still a pretty good weight. With this bird, because there is question as to whether Samson is the true father or the other male, we are actually running genetic tests. We've taken blood samples from the chick last year, and we will from this year too, and we already have from Samson. Yeah, his wing chord is 280 millimeters, 280. So big bird all around. And so we're hoping that with the genomics tests and such that we will be able to, answer the question, who's the daddy, more or less. Because right now, we're just not sure. And just to clarify, the band number is E0174. 174, yeah. So that is definitely Samson. He's been digging. I'm looking for any signs of injuries from that fight the other night, because the other bird was given as good as it got for about the first 10 minutes, but then the larger size and weight of Samson started giving, and after 15 minutes the other bird was totally, you know, totally out of it, totally at the mercy of this guy. I don't see any real injuries whatsoever. Usually it's on the feet or around the neck, and I really don't see it. So this snail's a little displaced, like the end of the toe might have been broken or something, and I don't see any other injuries around the bill or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna put you back in. You've been very, yeah, sometimes you see deep gouges around the top of the bill and stuff where they grip bill to bill. Yeah, I don't see anything. No, his none the worse for wear, but the other bird, I'm pretty sure you can't say that, you know, too. Okay, so Samson, yeah, we're gonna follow his exploit. We're gonna probably take blood samples from the new chick and such. The other male we may never know, because when it left it looked in a pretty bad way, so it's possible it went out to sea to nurse its wounds, or may, you know, conceivably have even suffered mortality out there. We don't know, but yeah, we know this one will fight for his mate and for his home. Okay, so I'm going to put him back in to his nest entrance, which is right out here. Here we go. And this is one of the few nests on this island that has a baffle. Most of these nests don't have to be baffled because they're in the vegetation, and tropic birds will only go into a nest that they can see the entrance of while they're flying along the edge of the cliff. So a couple of these lower ones, the other ones are hidden in vegetation, so they've never had a tropic bird attempt to go in. But we did have a near fatal tropic bird nest invasion in this nest. A smaller than normal tropic bird actually squeezed through the baffle, and we, both JP and myself, happened to be on the camera at this time, you know, watching it on the website, and, you know, he was able to alert me immediately, and I was able to run down from my house, literally out the door, to the aquarium, into the boat, and I got out here in just over half an hour. And there was another adult in the nest with the chick when this happened, and you know, the chick was still quite young. This was in April, I believe, sometime, and we thought that the other adult was the female bird, and this bird actually attacked the tropic bird, started to kill the chick, you know, and the female, you know, the other adult cahao jumped right over and, you know, basically distracted it enough so that it you know, while the tropic bird was getting its bearings, I got out here. I arrived just as it was starting to dig at the chick. I was able to remove the tropic bird, rough it up a bit, and throw it out to sea again. But the chick was uninjured. The only thing that it had some of the down, the natal down, ripped off it. You could see it was actually in the bill of the tropic bird. And to my surprise, when I checked the adult cahao, it wasn't either parent. It wasn't one of the parents. It was a prospecting bird, a young bird that had fledged from this nest back in 2019. So it was a sibling of the chick, or a half sibling, I guess would be, because a different mother. But if it were not for the presence of that sibling in the nest with it, it's very possible that by the time I got out here, the tropic bird would have killed the chick, and that would have been it. So, you know, it was just a very interesting interaction that happened. But luckily, because we had the camera here, we were able to prevent a tragedy.